Hi, Norman Notes here again. Now I'm going to talk you through, not show you because it's already done, my irrigation system in my garden, because I've got quite a big garden. And when I moved here, I had to plug in hoses, like double hoses, and plug them in to all the irrigation points that was around about the garden. So what I've come up with is a series of plinths with manifolds on them. So I'm doing it off the mains water just now, because you can do it opposite way, mains water, and it's for initially off the big tank that I've got. It's 25,000 litres, which is about 5,500 gallon. So a lot of water, but because it's been so dry and we've not had a lot of rain recently, the tank is well down. So I'm just using it off the water of the mains, because I can reverse action the irrigation. So I'm doing it out the front just now, so we'll go around and we'll have a look and I'll show you what I've done. Let's go. So this is our front garden, and obviously you can hear the water. So this is one of our manifold systems that I've got going. So mains water's across here, obviously we put it in with a hose, and I've got a series of blank units that I can just plug a hose into. I've got that throughout the whole lot because I only need 3. So we've got a series of manifolds here that I can open each side of the garden. So I've got front section, side section, and up here I've got pop-ups. So obviously if you're putting it in here and opening this up, and obviously because of the mains water pressure, I've got all of these open at the same time. So it goes through the hose, which is the one normally that comes back, and obviously I've closed the one down here. So that's coming from the front of my house. This is the first manifold really. This would be manifold 1, because my tank is down there and behind that bush, and we'll go down there next, because it's, as I say, it's not coming from the tank, it's actually doing a reverse action. So here I've got written on the side middle, which is the middle side, front, and this side here. So that's the water coming in, but obviously I'm going to have to, once I start opening these up, I'm going to have to blank the end. So I've blanked the end at the tank side. But this is manifold number 1, because more often than not I'm taking it from the tank, and this is the main one coming from the tank. And then I can, like I say, open a series of manifolds to go and distribute the water wherever I want. So obviously just round here, this would be my manifold 2. So obviously coming from the first manifold, and I've got a series of 1 and 2, one that go to the middle, but these two are to the top side of my garden, which is this top side here, and the bottom side of my garden, which is there, which also incorporates the far side. So then I've got manifold 3. So obviously if you're opening that and closing the other 2 to go here, then this then waters this middle section here. So this is manifold 3, and this does all of this. But as I say, because I'm using mains pressure, I can probably open up the 3 of them at the same time, but because the pump is half a horsepower, so it's not as strong as main water, I just do one of these at a time. So, but that distributes the whole of the garden. So this is the whole section here, and there's a section goes to the bottom. So we'll go to the tank now. So there's the tank down here, like I say, 25,000 litres tank, 5,500 gallon. So that's my little pump, and that's the water obviously coming from the tank to go into there. Obviously I've got a blank end on here at the minute, because if I don't blank the end, there's going to be water coming out of it when I've got the mains water, because obviously we're doing it in reverse. But that normally clicks on here, and the water then it goes on the top of the pump when the pump's going, and it goes through a filter. But I'll just leave that there just now because I'm going in the opposite direction. But just a small pump under there, not huge at all. You don't need it huge, because I'm always worried about the pressure of the mains that would blow some of my connections. But this is the bottom section here and the bottom section here, so that comes off this centre manifold. So the manifold I showed you at the front garden is manifold 4, because that's technically last in the series from the pump. So I thought I'd show you that, because it took a bit of work, but you've just got to work out what hoses goes where, and how your manifolds are going to work, and where the manifolds are going to distribute water. Let's say I've got a spare in all of them. Water coming in, water going out. Off the pump, it's one at a time. Off mains water, I'll probably manage to do the two sides, but I've just got it kind of written with texture pen, felt tip pen at the side how we do it. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that, because this was a little bit of work, and I probably should have done it as I actually did it, but it probably was a bit boring running actual hoses like these plastic connection hoses, because obviously I had to count how many elbows and stuff that I needed, and when you put these on, you've got to put it in, dip it in hot water, and then force them on there, which gets a better connection. So we'll go back to the front. So I'm back at the manifold 1, and I've decided to switch this over. Now I've opened 2 points on the other manifold, because you don't want it ever the water pumping against nothing. Different on mains water, but certainly not with a pump. So that's on, so it's going to the middle section, but because there's so much water pressure going from the front, when I close that, at least this then will be open. So that's off and off. So off to the side, I might open the side and just give that a little bit of water, and to the front I'd have to open this one, right, because it's a front, it's coming from the front. So then you hear a bit of water coming. Maybe you didn't hear it there. Anyway, we'll go and close the front. So we're back at the front. Because, as I say, because this is off mains water, I can open 3 sections here, but I'm going to close the section of the middle section over here, and the side. Okay, so it's just going from here straight through here. Hopefully I've explained that to you, so it's a bit easier to understand. But like I say, we're doing it in the opposite way because of and I've just run my hose along there, around the corner, and as you can hear, bottom section here is being done. But I'm also doing the side bit as well, so what I might have to do is close the top section, only because there might be too much pressure. or I'm losing too much pressure because I'm doing side, because you can't really do too many. As I say, I'm going through that, and this section's open for the top, and that section's open, so I'll maybe close the lower one, and then that should spray that one to the top section. Took a little bit of working out how I was going to do it and how many I was going to have off one manifold, but it just kind of, because there was a series of 4 manifolds, you know, I just put one section into one part of the garden and another section of the manifold into another, so it kind of worked in really well. Ended up not using these, so I mean they're probably handy because you can run a hose in, you know, because I've got a hose point here and I've got a hose point there, I've got a hose point in the house, so if in doubt I can run a hose. I mean, that was never the intention of running hoses, but if you needed to, then it's got that facility. So like I say, I'm doing the top section and the side section, so I'll do that over the course of the next hour. And there's my view from the garden. So anyway, hopefully that explains hopefully explains the manifold watering system. As I said before, it should come out of the tank. I mean, that's what it's for, to use the rainwater and not mains water. And as I say, that's probably a quarter full at the minute. Yeah, so I hope you liked that small explanation of the manifold watering system of a garden, because this is a big garden and I spent ages running hoses and connecting up hoses to have a series of connections in, you know, in parts of the garden. It was just an absolute nuisance and I was sick of it. So it did take a little bit of time, and I did use some, particularly in the middle section, I did use some existing water pipe that was there. This section's here, particularly this section, didn't have no water pipe in it at all, so you had to do all that by hand. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Norman No Weights signing off. Bye for now.